I know the churches of Australia aren't massive churches, but it doesn't matter. When you look around and you see the number of men or young men in our churches, how many of these men are putting their hand up and saying, I believe that God could use me somewhere in this world to do the very thing I was left here to do? And I'm going to raise my hand up and say, okay, Lord, I know it may cause a radical change of my priorities, and I know it's going to interfere with my life's agenda, but I put my hand up and say, God, I'm willing, like Isaiah was willing, to go and do the thing that needs to be done in this world. The reason you left us here is to preach the gospel to every creature. God, that's me. Where are the men who are willing to stand up and answer the call of God? Where are men who are willing to really consider the fields of the world and the vacancies in the harvest field and volunteer their life to go into the fields of this world and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ? Where are the men? The very question that Brother Kaufman asked me at our missions conference last October. We had that interview that we watched on screen here in the church. And he was saying, Brother Tom, where are the men of Australia? And my answer to him at the time, I don't know. They're sitting in church. I wonder, could there be a man that would consider the call of God to abandon his life to preach the gospel? So what should we do as we consider the call of God tonight? Well, we should yield our lives in complete surrender to God, each of us as believers. I believe we should pray earnestly. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that He would send forth laborers into His harvest. What should we do? We should study our Bibles. We should study the Word of God and get closer to the heart of God. Not studying about missions, but studying the Bible to find God there. I wonder when we study the Word of God if we won't really discern the heart of God by studying His Word. What should we do? We should study the condition of our world. As you know, God cannot lead you on the basis of information you don't have. Study the condition of the world and see the needs of our world around us today. Read missionary biographies. Consider the lives of great men. But oh, my dear brethren, tonight, I wonder even you sit in your lounge room tonight. Maybe even in these next few moments, you're thinking about what life is going to be like the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Could you just put that to the side for just a moment? And would you just pause to consider that maybe God would call you to reach somebody in this world? And if that's a calling away from your home and away from your life, would you be willing to give your life in answer to that call, whether it's a vacancy in the world or a deliberate call of God where He knocks at the door of your heart and says, I choose you. May God help us to answer the call of God and fulfill the thing He's given for us to do in this life, to preach the gospel to every creature.